too many ands and too many or's in your where clause? Your where clause doesn't have to be this complicated. SQL already has operators that would make these filters easy to read, simpler, and smarter. So let's get started. So what is this range operator? Let's see this with an example. We will take an example of again users table. Select star from users. Run. So we got all these 11 rows. Now if you see username having name alpha, beta, gamma, delta, Charlie, and all these names. But suppose if someone comes to you and gave you a list that is having only 5 names and told you that you need to extract all the information, for example, this email ID, phone number of only those 5 usernames. What will we do in that case? So we will write select star from app.users table where username is equal to, suppose I have list of 3 names here. First name is beta, second name is pico, and the third name is brat. I want details of only these 3 usernames. So what shall we write here? We will write select star from app.users table where what? User name is equal to beta or username is equal to what? Pico or username is equal to brat, right? B caps. Let's run this. And yes, we got all these 3 rows with all the details that we need. But do we really need this? We wrote here 3 conditions. Is it really necessary? No, it's not. Why it is not necessary here? Because SQL already has operators to perform these tasks in simpler, shorter and smarter way. So what shall we write here? Select star from app.users table where username what? We need to find usernames in these 3 names. So we will write here the in operator. So this is called in operator. This is a special range operator. So in what? Then bracket open, bracket close, and then I will write these names here: beta, and then pico, and then brat. Now let's run this. See, we got all these 3 rows again. So this means this code is exactly same as this code, right? Difference is that here we need to write 3 conditions, but here we wrote only 1 condition. So that is the use of in operator here, and this in operator can be used with various types of data types, maybe for string data type, maybe for numeric data type. Let's see this with numeric data type as well. So instead of username, I will take user ID here. I will copy this and then I will paste it here. Instead of beta, I will write 2 and then 5 and then 11. Now if I run this, yes, so we wrote username here, it should be user ID. Let's run this again. Now we got 3 rows here, which is having user ID in 2, user ID equal to 5, and user ID is equal to 11. So this in operator works with string as well as numeric. So this was all about in operator. But what if someone came to you and told you that they want all the names except few names, and those few names would be again beta, pico and brat. Now in this case we cannot write in operator here, because when we were using in operator we were including things, but now we want to exclude things or exclude usernames. So what shall we write here? So instead of in we will write not in, and I do not want these 3 names here. So I will copy it and then I will paste it here. Instead of user ID I need to write name, and here it should be names, and instead of this square bracket we need to give round bracket here. Now let's run this. Now we got all the rows, but we did not get row where username is equal to beta, pico or brat. Earlier we had 11 rows, now we have only 8 rows. Those 3 rows are missing here. Beta is missing, pico is missing and brat is missing. And same goes for the numeric values as well. Here instead of name I would write it as ID, and then instead of names I would give ID, 1 2 3 IDs. Now I will not get rows where user ID is equal to 1 2 3. Now if you see, user ID is starting with 4 to 11 it is giving, but it is not giving user ID having row having ID is equal to 1 2 3. So that was the use of not an operator. Let's see the next range operator. And what is this next range operator we want to learn today is between. And what does it do? So here if you see, it was a very small data set, just 3 numbers here. But what if someone came to you and told you they have hundreds of names that has to be included and remaining names they do not want? So will you write all the 100 names here or all the 100 IDs here? No, right? Because that would complicate the things, that would make the code look not good. So that's why we have between operator here. And how does it work? So let's copy paste this here again. Select star from this app.users table, where what? Where user ID between what? I want between 1 and 7. I want only those IDs or only those rows which are having user ID between 1 and 7. So between 1 and 7. Let's run this. Now we got all the rows where user ID is between 1 and 7. If you notice here, 1 is included as well as 7. So both are included. So when we are writing between, so keep it in mind that both these are included, right? Both these parameters are included. So this is the use of between operator. And if we do not use between operator, we will write in operator here. And in operator, we will have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So that will mess up the code. That's why we will use between operator here. And that's the end of this video. Let's meet in the next video.